Welcome back to this DGen Crypto Challenge where I'm trying to trade this fresh wallet from $5,000 up to $50,000 by any means possible. And in today's video, I'm going to give you a quick update on the portfolio's performance, the holdings that I currently have in it, and I'm actually planning on adding one thing here today. So I funded this wallet with $5,000 maybe a week and a half ago. And my thesis was that the markets have taken a pretty big hit over the past few weeks and months. And so I figured this is either a really good time to deploy some capital. If we hit a real true alt season, then we could easily see some solid multiples. And then on the other hand, if things just continue going to zero, this is a suitable risk for me to take. So I started with $5,000. Currently we're sitting at $4,500. Now, what do I have in the portfolio? Half of the money that I started with is still in cash USDT. And then I have the biggest position is Jupe. This took a big hit last week with the scandal around the Libra token and allegations that members of Jupiter and Meteora and other people that are part of that ecosystem were involved. So Jupe is down. Then I bought the Virtuals token, which is the AI agent launchpad on Base. That is also down. Then the other two positions in the wallet are this unknown/nothing token, which is like an AI cult meme coin, and Fartcoin, which you've probably heard of by now. So yes, all of the first four positions that I took in this portfolio are down because the markets have really taken a beating, especially the Solana ecosystem. And that is why in today's video, I will be purchasing a token that is not in the Solana ecosystem. And by the way, I am still holding all of these because in my previous videos, I outlined my thesis for purchasing them, and I'm willing to wait a little while to see if that thesis plays out. I do still think that all of these are potentially good plays, although of course this is not financial advice and I could be 1000% wrong. And it is highly likely that counter trading me may end up actually being more profitable. Anyways, if you are tracking this wallet, you may have noticed some on-chain activity. And that is because I thought I wanted to get into this token, the Alchemist AI token. I actually purchased $500 of it and then I sold it pretty much right away. And the reason why I did that was because, well, it was already on my watch list. I'm actually kind of interested in their platform. It's pretty cool. Basically, you can make an app with no code just by putting prompts in. And I thought it was a cool app. Thought maybe there was some interesting stuff going on here. And then they posted just the other day that they were accepted into NVIDIA's Inception program. So as soon as I saw this, they posted it like 1 minute prior. I went over to the chart and I decided to actually pick up $500 to see if we could hit a pump on that. Then they actually posted another good piece of news, which is that they were accepted into the Google App Store as like a beta trial, and still nothing happened. So basically, two seemingly incredible pieces of news. Token failed to pump, and I thought that that was not a good sign. And then also, since there were some red flags with this project that I had already noticed, one of the main ones being that the team is not doxed and there is no sort of community aspect. They don't have a Discord, they don't have a Telegram server, nothing like that. And so, yeah, it made me kind of just rethink it. I got out of the position. I thought maybe we'd see a quick pump, but nothing of that sort happened. And I'm just gonna leave this on the watch list for now, especially since I started doing a little bit of digging into this NVIDIA Inception program, trying to verify this. And I couldn't actually, see that this was announced. And actually, the NVIDIA Inception program says right on their website that they do not want projects associated with cryptocurrency. So I don't know what's going on here. Anyways, this one will remain on the watch list for now. I think that the app that they've built is super cool, but for the actual value of the token, I'm still just not quite there yet. So that leads me to what am I going to buy today? And that is going to be the Aero token. Now, this will not be a huge surprise to you if you watched my previous video because I already mentioned that I was considering this. So let me just break down quickly the thesis behind this token and why I will be adding it to the portfolio today. This is the largest decentralized exchange on the Base L2, which is one of the biggest layer 2s. And realistically, I think if we hit a true alt season, then Base is going to see massive inflows because Coinbase is the biggest exchange in the US, and all of their users, if they want to go on chain, are going to start probably on the Base L2. Aerodrome has almost $1 billion in TVL, and actually if we scroll down here, we can look at the volume on the DEX. So it peaked kind of near the end of last year when the AI mega hype cycle was happening and has since come down, but obviously they are still doing some very, very solid volume through their decentralized exchange, which means fees, lots and lots of fees. And really, in my opinion, one of the main reasons to purchase this token is if you believe that Base is going to be one of the winning L2s, and that if we see a wave of retail adoption, that a lot of users would end up on the Base layer 2, because if they do, their trades will probably be routed through these liquidity pools even if they don't know it, which is going to generate a huge amount of fees for Aero. And if we take a look at the Ethereum layer 2s, according to the total TVL that they have on chain, Aerodrome is still the largest at 14.09 billion, but Base is a close second, and they don't even have their own token. So all of these assets here is ETH, stablecoins, and other tokens, whereas a pretty significant percentage of this, 15% of ARB's TVL, is its own token. If Base dropped a token, of course their TVL would skyrocket as well. Now, I found an interesting tweet the other day, make fundamentals great again. And that's another part of the reason why I'm purchasing this, because I have some meme coins and AI coins in the portfolio. But I think that maybe we will see a pivot back towards tokens that actually do stuff. And this tweet here is interesting because it shows some of the main decentralized exchanges across different platforms. So for example, on Solana, we got Radium and Jupiter. Then we have Hyperliquid, you've probably heard of. And down here we have Aerodrome. Now, if you look at the price of the token relative to the revenues that they earn, Aerodrome appears to be the most undervalued, meaning that the amount that they earn in revenue from fees from their LP pools is very high relative to the actual market cap of the token. Now, in terms of the value of the token itself, currently it's trading at about 78.5 cents per token, but it's down from its all-time high of about $2.20. And this chart will probably closely mirror the actual volumes on Base. So buying this token is definitely a speculation on more volume returning to the Base L2, but that is a bet that I personally am willing to make. Now, this is also not a low float, high FDV token. They've got half or slightly more than half of the token is already in circulation, with the rest remaining to be distributed. There is inflation to the token. If we look at the tokenomics, from LP fees, incentives are paid to users in the form of the Aero token. And if you lock that token up and stake it in order to participate in governance, you can earn other incentives for doing that. Now, over time, the emissions will decrease as the total supply increases. So we will be seeing some dilution, and it's important not to discount that. However, I think as we see here with this run up, for example, between September and December of last year, it literally doesn't matter if there's massive volumes pushing on chain, this token is going to do well. And in my opinion, this is a pretty solid buying opportunity down here at 78 cents. While I don't necessarily think this would be a 10x in any short period of time, it is possible that if we see an alt season over the next few months, maybe sometime by the midpoint of this year, then this could be, I don't know, maybe a 3x, maybe a 5x. This is fully speculation. Do not take this as financial advice, but that's just my thought process behind adding this to the experimental portfolio. So I'm gonna bridge $2,000 from this portfolio over to Base, and I'm gonna buy $1,000 of the Aero token today. That combined with Jupiter is gonna make up my full exposure to utility tokens, tokens that actually have revenues, and then the rest is gonna be for more speculative stuff. Now, if you wanna continue following along with this wallet, because now I'm splitting the portfolio amongst Base and Solana, then I'll link this down below. It's below every video, but yeah, it's all still going to be fully transparent. So let's send 2,000 USDT over to Base via Jumper and pick up those tokens. All right, just like that, we're good. We got the $2,000 on Base, so you can track this portfolio on DBank or the Block Explorer if you want. And now I'll just go back over to Jumper and swap half of that into Aero. So we're picking up 1,265 Aero tokens on Base. Now with that, I'm probably not gonna focus too much more on these larger, I would say medium-sized cryptocurrencies. It's definitely not one of the majors, but it is pretty big. So I have a pretty solid idea of what I'm going to be adding in the next video, and it's a lot more degen. It's got a market cap in the 7 figures, so that should be an interesting one, and we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully you found this interesting and entertaining. Definitely not financial advice. If anything, you should do the opposite of what I'm doing. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.